Oh. Está lloviendo. A ver. Queríamos hablar con este tipo de aquí. Un momento. Ajustes. Controles no. Música. Vamos a bajar un poquito el ambiental. O el clima. Vamos a bajar un poco el clima. Así está bien. Quizá mañana salga a bailar o... Vamos a hablar con esta persona.
Bastards! We have a right to work.
Líder de los esquiroles. Cabrones, tenemos derecho a trabajar. El hombre grita en dirección a la entrada del puerto. Su voz, la más atronadora de todas, resulta particularmente aguda para un hombre de su corpulencia. ¿Qué se cuece por aquí?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
El macho alfa de espalda ancha se vuelve hacia ti. Es enorme. Le saca una cabeza a todos los demás.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work!
Trata fuerte el audio del fondo. Y no del murmullo.
Besides, we're not that different.
Voy a ver si bajando el ambiental. Un momento. Pero sí, está como... Ajustes... Así, ¿no? Mejor. Sí, mejor, ¿no? Vale, parece ser que mejor, ¿no? ¿De qué clase de...? A ver, además no somos tan distintos. Se acerca un poco, es bueno. Se acerca un poco, bueno. Es bueno que la gente nos vea conversando juntos, policía y esquiroles. Vemos que están de nuestro lado. Tener la confianza.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel.
Hombre, han tenido no sé cuántos años para mejorarlo. Así la estafa está ahí. Lo de las bolsas de lona no ha desaparecido. Lo de los 500 átomos de tal aún está ahí. Lo de filtrar las direcciones y los 4 últimos números de tarjeta no se va tan fácilmente. Da igual que lo hayan mejorado normal, que lo hayan mejorado teniendo tanto tiempo. Pero también el hecho de que los servidores son gigantes. Bueno, los mapas de los servidores son muy grandes, pero haya 24 jugadores sigue ahí. El hecho de que el sistema de subir de nivel es por cartas sigue ahí. Bueno, perdón. La puerta principal está cerrada. Haría falta artillería pesada para abrirla. Podría intentar entrar a través de la secretaría. Hace un gesto hacia las escaleras, pero la puerta está cerrada. La guardia bloquea el continuo del paso a acceso.
I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Yeah? That giant up there, on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Won't let the workers by. The access panel is right behind him. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Vamos a irnos. Vale, podemos ir. Vamos a preguntar al del kiosco, a ver si sabe algo.
Welcome to Rivachol.
Racista, vale. Vamos a ver. Me ayudas a anunciar el gordinflón. No se deje a ti, sino al teniente.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Dale,
It's
caño.
men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave.
No pasó con pero Cyberpunk lo hizo mejor. Bueno, Cyberpunk no te
But you see,
hizo
I'm
cosas
an officer of
mejores.
the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Nuestro Spirit de Corps nos está pidiendo ayuda, ¿no? ¿Qué llevas? ¿Quién te curó las espaldas? Luego un puñetazo de colega en el hombro. Bueno, creo que todos hemos aprendido la lección. Sonreír al camionero. O sea...
You two make a cute couple. You know that.
¿Oh?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
¿Me ha escupido? No me importa que haya pensado que soy gay. Lo que me ha molestado es que me haya escupido y que insinúe que ser gay es algo malo. Intentando humillarnos con el hecho de que somos pareja, a mí y a mi compañero. Permiso para pegarle un tiro con la pistola que me han robado. Buenas noches, Mar. Ahora que ya nos hemos aclarado todos, queremos hacerte un par de
Whatever you
preguntas.
say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
Porque iba a pensar que la taza es suya.
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Es verdad que la taza tenía un dibujo racista.
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
Ay, podía ser del de arriba.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
Sí. Transporta drogas, ¿no? O algo ilegal.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. Suit yourself, officer.
Vamos a ver que este tipo no nos va a decir nada. Marejadilla nos ha librado. A ver. ¿Y aquí? Tulipanes y rosas amarillas. Docenas de ambas. La radio. A ver, ahí. Vamos a ver aquí.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle.
Es una forma física. Hola. Vamos aquí a ver qué hay.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
El impermeable me daría uno más de resistencia.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
Here you go.
Vamos a comprar el impermeable.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various
Porque debería de
medicines,
conseguir
nasal
150
sprays, and
reales.
blister packs.
Cosa que parece ser que
They
no vamos a
all
conseguir.
bear the Saint-Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo. Their logo is the bloodless rose, pure white, untouched by harm.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
No necesitamos. Tenemos bastante
A colorful
encima.
display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. Your knees are weak. There, in that dark green glass,
Cállate,
all
que me
in
capuzo.
vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Y ahora hablamos.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34.
Me suena de algo.
This speaks to you.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish. Benita. She's a model. Usually it's a model. Or a singer-songwriter. Or a model.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash. That was easy, worryingly so.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
¿Lo conocía?
Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long. I don't know.
No sabe nada.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay. Uh-huh. Reality? You mean, what reality? Economic reality, or...?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15.
¿Tiene 15 años? Porque nos estamos besando muy fuerte esto, hombre.
I don't know. What about it?
No volveré a molestarte con... No volveré a molestarte con estas tonterías.
Our government? Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article. Cool.
Interesante. Bueno, ahora somos un poquito más ricos. Ahora lo que deberíamos de ir... A ver si ya podemos intentar revisar el cadáver. Vamos a intentar revisar el cadáver y luego ir por aquí. Tururún. Vale. Vamos a guardar por si acaso. Ropa. Acción -1 de retórica. Spirit Core. Este lo podía vender. Porque la capa de patrulla me da más. Momento.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
¿Necesitaré subirme uno más la resistencia? ¿O qué es lo que me pide? Resistencia. Tengo uno, es decir, ahora tengo 2 de resistencia. ¿Necesitaría uno más? Lo probamos a ver. No lo vamos a probar. Es un instinto. Vale, pensaba. Tal vez subiendo uno más instinto podría. Vale. Hay una cosa que no he visto. ¿Qué pasa?
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
A Stashraiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zhimsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white, the colors of the Stars Ryko.
That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested the trial, flying the colors. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction, 4,395, the 4th largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
I tried to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like these before actually examining the body, but my initial guess is the two are unrelated. 4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol industrial harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. Yes, detective? Okay, I'm not going to honor kill anyone over this, but I've seen it blue and white. It's much better that way.
¡Oh! Y en azul y tal le hubiese gustado mucho más. Me cago en la mar salada. Pero bueno.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays. It is the seal of Royalist-era Revachol.
Es
The
del
back end of
racista.
the cabin has a small
Entiendo.
perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
Vale. Vamos a preguntarle a esta persona de aquí.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She
Entroponauta.
nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands,
Cómo
and
mola el nombre.
there's a warm
Entroponauta.
smile on her face.
Navegante del caos, ¿no? De la entropía. Entroponauta. La pequeña mujer arrugada por la edad no te saluda, está centrada en su radio, siguiendo el ritmo. En sus manos una fotografía bien agarrada, a su rostro una sonrisa
The
cálida.
photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as
Suena
golden as her smile.
ambrotipia. Una ambrotipia de principios del siglo, tan dorado como su sonrisa. Disculpe,
No
señora.
response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
Ay, no sé, pero
Yes?
no sé, esperaba un... Me dijese un por qué no debería de molestarla. No porque quiero molestarla, sino por saber del lore. Porque él sabe algo del lore que, claro, para mí... Esto ya es todo, no puedo irme por más sitios. Tengo que abrir una puerta, pero no sé qué puerta es. Por ahí no hemos ido, ¿no? Vale, este es el que me vendía los zapatos y... algo más. Aquí estaba la tienda... Vamos a vender la chaqueta, ¿no? Ay...
Hello again. How can I help you?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's a drug
De verdad,
developed
lo he
by
dado
the
antes.
military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. I've had to take it, you know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened,
Montifurro
and
otra
why
vez.
no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment and early deaths. Cancer mostly. No one's. Everyone's. A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance. A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Una pareja feliz.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, perhaps. You said you done it before, yeah?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. He won't be your narc, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
If you say so. Here you go, man. I respect your decision, officer. What else can I help you with?
Ya me gustaría preguntarle.
Hello, hello.
Lo que quería preguntar es dónde lo ha conseguido. Para investigar lo del tema de las drogas.
Whoa, what have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Sure, they never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
Es que nadie piensa en los niños. Nadie piensa en los niños. Mal con él. ¿Eh? Vamos a hablar con la viejecita.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
¿Qué es esto? Vale, eso se puede. Más uno de lógica, menos uno de autoridad. Pues nos lo guardamos. Tengo bastante visión. Vale. Vamos.
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers, the iconography of communism, in other words. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure, to symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it. Because white is the color of peace. You see noble aims, but also mountains upon mountains of corpses. They should have taken a more measured approach. The price of idealism, unrestrained by humanism, never again. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. No reply.
Esto es el cortapernos. Muy baja la probabilidad. ¿Qué más puertas hay? Puedo usar... Tiene que haber una puerta, ¿no? Pero no me acuerdo de qué puerta estamos hablando. Debería de mirarla. Mhm. Vale, perdona por el ruido de la silla. La hora de crack. Puerta número 28.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No
Vamos a llevar
one
por acá.
answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
¿Quieres volver mañana?
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment. Remember, tomorrow, he's probably gone.
Vale, por aquí hemos estado ahí como 3 botellas. Esto. Tu. Vale, estamos aquí.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. You knock silently.
I guess no one is in?
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you.
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hang... On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrart we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the call.
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with this.
Abrimos la puerta. Vamos a hablar con la señora. Vamos a hablar con la señora y luego... No sabemos mucho. Pero a ver si nos dice algo.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. What?
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, after they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Yes? Excellent. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I suspect the traffic jam won't disperse for a few. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it? Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub. A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, positively statuesque. While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... Shame? You haven't really been in the presence of gentlefolk either, have you? What shame is there to be felt in front of these dock workers, cops, and hotel clerks, but to belittle yourself in these eyes of Odinil?
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Voila, you're doing it.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm sad to hear that. How much do you need? That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
Oh!
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold, oily to the touch. There must be about 200 real in that zip bag, maybe a little less, plus some change at the...
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries? Of course, Detective.
Puedo pagar la deuda del este. ¡Ah! Va a formar parte de mi plan maestro. Aún tenemos tiempo, ¿no? Antes de dormir. Ojalá fuese así de fácil, ¿no? Vale. ¿Quién ha derivado esta pared?
What happened here?
No puedes embargar un apartamento.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed.
Por cierto. Se acabó el furrismo por hoy. Vale, tenemos... Hablaremos con usted. Lo que se ve, no se puede entrar. Alguien vive detrás de... Vale, podemos... Vamos a hablar con la chica.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
Así es, hemos evolucionado.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil. Red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles, or at least that's the idea.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock. Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
Tan ahora como siempre. Soy rico. Más las botellas que estamos tal. A ver. Ahora sí va haciéndose. Unos pantalones. Electroquímica. A ver. Electroquímica y lógica. Aún así, deberíamos de abrir la puerta. Es que no sabemos. Es que el tipo este del sindicato es un mafioso, se le nota a 3 leguas. Nos va... Así que podríamos mentirle. He interrogado a los camioneros, ¿no? Bueno, he interrogado a 2. No debería de interrogar más. Pues la salida... No, por ahí no. No quería hablar con él.
Yes.
Debemos de intentar dormir.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign, your bottles clunk into the...
Looking for something? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza. Safre. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage.
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This guy...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
Yes, yes. Where?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right? What?
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what's sealing.
Guess so.
No deberíamos de tardar en irnos, en pagar la deuda e irnos a dormir a la habitación.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says,
Fantastic. Otra vez. Hay que mantener nuestras calles limpias, gente. No, deberíamos de intentar... Vamos a intentar decirle que el trabajo ya está hecho. Porque esto nos podría generar más problemas. Vamos a decirle que el trabajo está bien hecho. Dormimos.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Vamos a mentirle.
Are you shitting me, Harry? Did you not really open the door and are now just telling me you did? You're a wild one, Harry.
Vamos a probar.
You didn't say it with nearly enough confidence.
Be it far from me to ever question your integrity, Harry, but you must have opened the wrong door. Next time, please be certain you get the right one. You see, Harry, it only benefits me if you open the right door. If you open the wrong door, then it makes things harder for me. I don't want them to be scared. I want them to think, wow, I feel so safe. I like Everard. I only want weasels to be scared.
The lieutenant shrugs.
See you soon, Debarder.
Hemos fallado porque tenía las gafas. Una vez que las gafas. A ver. La partida. A ver. Pim. Un poco. Sí, la verdad que sí. Vamos a quitarnos las gafas.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. Oh, that's one
Este ya
thing
lo
I
hemos
want
oído,
to... We're all
seguro.
trying to do what's best for Martinez. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. Empty all your barrels on me, Harry. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. I have no interest in what... Tell her about all of it.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
See you soon.
Vale, vamos a hacer así.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. Are you shitting me, Harry? Did you not really...
Good. Now take it a bit further. Take it home.
I bet it was, Harry. But seriously, what did you see in his apartment?
A guy who has antagonized the Union in a Union-run town? Maybe it's political.
¿Qué podría ser? Esto vas a ver que no. Pienso.
That's exactly what I thought, Harry. What a weasel. And for the record, I was only curious, not testing you.
He was testing you. You succeeded.
Uf. Sí, maestro, ¿no?
Thank you, Harry. You have shown me that the Barder's Union and the Citizens' Militia can indeed work together. Now, let's cut down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is going to start happening now. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Dijo que a estas alturas ya habrá averiguado para quién trabajaba el difunto, para los malos. Will Pines lo mandaron para darnos un toque. Otra medida violenta por parte de los sombreros de copa. ¿A qué te
Harry,
refieres?
this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Hola, DFG, ¿cómo estamos?
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that?
Hemos contratado.
Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Santa Maritza, you name
¿Tienes
it, they've done it.
Steam?
Raping,
¿Recomiendo un juego?
killing, burning villages, killing little
Pixel
children
Gun
for the
3D, y
Senorita
tiene campaña.
Pineapple Company, Harry.
Ah, pues le echaré un vistazo. Creo que me suena tenerlo. Me suena haberlo visto. Me suena haber visto tal vez un tráiler, me suena, no sé. Pero le echaré un vistazo. Gracias, DFG. Vale.
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container.
Se mueven el contenedor donde está.
I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
Se mueven la... What the fuck?
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Lo estoy pensando. Un poco a crimen.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
¿Cuál está en consola para comprarlo? El disco sí, es decir, el disco de Elysium creo que sí, ¿no? Benja dice que sí, pues supongo que sí.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement.
Sí, me lo acabo de
All
buscar.
members.
Vale, pues ya sabes. Supongo que está para Xbox y... Bueno, para Xbox seguro. De pinta. ¿Y para la Play?
Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. You know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're gonna show up in full force tomorrow.
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And, of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
Entiendo.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour. You bring joy to my heart. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022.
Me marcho. Por ahí no. Vale, es decir, hasta el miércoles. Hoy es... ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿El lunes o...? Bueno, hoy es de la semana. No, pero... Ya, 1. ¿Para qué? Monte. No. Oye, ¿me dejas entrar? Ahí estamos. Voy a transmitir a partir de las... Es decir, a partir de las 9 puedo tal. Deberíamos de intentar hablar con la vecina tal. Intentar examinar el cadáver sería buena idea.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Aside, your bottles clunk into the machine.
Me gustaría que... Veas... No. Una pantalla de ayudas, tal como los juegos antiguos. Eso mola. Bueno, sí, como los RPGs suelen tener. Vale. Hay que hacer dos cosas. Antes de tal. Es primero. A ver qué se... Ropa. Vamos a ponernos esto. Y vamos a ponernos... a tener un poco más de resistencia. Mira, así me sube un montón la salud.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
There's the fruit nearby. Maybe they have some in their apothecary. If there's a greenhouse here.
Pretty.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modify.
De frío. Aunque cuesta mucho tener los núcleos de fusión. ¿Dices en el Fallout 4? Aquí no.
To the left of some croissant. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs.
Hablar con si tiene.
Is this about the questions again? Because
She looks
¿Veis
up
amoníaco?
from her magazine, eyes filled with tired ennui.
yes, what we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Dramamine. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. Uh-huh.
No, and then.
A colorful display of cigarettes. The bottles wink at you in the light. There, in that dark.
No podemos con el cadáver. Pues sí, bastante fácil, en verdad. Creo que es verdad que yo no uso mucho la salvo armadura, pero. Quiero esto de momento. Pues si no podemos. A ver si este sabe
Stuck in the
algo.
rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Me
We
fío
have
de
a
esto.
credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Vale. Yo creo que vamos a ir... Buenísimo, porque no sé nada de los núcleos. ¿O son núcleos? ¡Ojo! Mira el ambientazo. Este señor aún sigue durmiendo, ¿pero qué es esto? Yo creo que es momento. Reservado, está reservado. ¿Hablamos con la señora? ¿O hablamos con la señora?
Hello again, sweetie.
Vamos a pagarle la deuda.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130 real. Well? Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted.
A ver, entiendo que le he roto la ventana.
If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
Ah, 20. Puedo estar 2 noches más. Entre lo que busque y tal.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Vale. Hemos pagado la deuda. Esta noche podemos dormir. A ver si... A ver, ¿puedo cantar sobre esto, por favor? Dime que es que quiero cantar. Vamos primero a ver si podemos hablar con la chica, nuestra vecina. Y luego ya nos vamos... Y nos iremos tal... Y nos vamos al pado 4, que hay cosas que hacer.
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Still nothing. The lieutenant... This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Bueno, vayamos al balcón. Vamos a valorar nuestra investigación.
Outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
A ver, por favor. Sí, más o menos. El aire afuera es vigorizante. El teniente guarda silencio en un momento. Escuchar zumbido de tráfico y luego...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Por favor, electroquímica, cállate ya. Deja las adicciones durante un segundo.
This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man, so we didn't even inspect the body.
Bueno, no lo hemos ni podido
But we
examinar.
performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great.
A ver, hemos examinado el cuerpo, la verdad es que...
We are both doing our best under the circumstances. Just don't drink tonight, please. As for the interviews, we conducted an interview with Everard Clare. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. You can look into the process of changing your name after we finish this investigation. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. Yes, the last time was 4 years ago.
He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event.
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies.
Más tarde.
It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. We don't convict, We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
Me faltan 10 para subir de nivel. Aquí no puedo subir más, por desgracia. Mundo interior podría estar bien, o empatía podría también estar. Aunque esto también podría ser interesante. No lo sé. ¿Cómo va este?
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Or if they think you do.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
Ah, pero tengo que jugar, es que tengo que jugar al Fallout 4. Qué cosas que hacer.
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen. Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Do you? We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez, most of them at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead. the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitaragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. 2 glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our 2 precincts. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Punto 9. Nada, aquí ya no me puedo subir, salvo que entre los huecos. Mundo interior puede estar bien para coordenadas, instintos y ensoñaciones. Enciclopedia, ya tengo uno.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. We can pick up where we left off tomorrow morning.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Espera, ¿qué arquetipos?
Yes. Guess what's yours? Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go?
La mierda, son ellos los que deberían de disculparse.
Yes, yes. Impotent rage and lamentation. Let's wrap it up. No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance. What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to anything. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen.
Pues vamos a ir al Fallout. Vamos a ir a cama. Vale, vamos un momento a la ropa. Quiero poner estos guantes. Vamos a ver. A ver por la mañana.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. You see some lights shimmering outside, but it's difficult to make out the outlines of the buildings below. Dark phantoms with many tiny eyes, chaotically arranged and not looking at you.
Voy a recoger las propias botellas de mi... antes de irme a dormir.
Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life? That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours? No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium. Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up. No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week? Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
Pues después de rechazar las drogas, pues vamos al Fallout.